was crazy as hell that, they, had this woman in a hospital and they see her suffering from having seizures and stuff like that, and they didn't want to do shit about it. Bro, though, they would have let this lady die. Police had to intervene so they could do their fucking work. Bro, though, that shit crazy. Plus, her husband was up there, worried about her too. Bro, though, that, I'm glad he was there, with her or whatever, because, they would have let that lady die right there up in the lobby. For real though, that's sick as hell. For real though. Anyway, so yeah, I'm like, damn, they what I'm saying, actually stressing these women that have that's pregnant or whatever, whatnot, and it's taking it real hard on the baby, for real though. When they stress these pregnant women out, for real though, and it's that's some crazy shit. For real though. For real though. I remember, what I'm saying, they, actually, had that lady going through some shit like that. And they let this lady die right in front of a child. For real though. I'm like, that shit crazy as hell. They didn't even have that lady at all. I'm like, goddamn. Some crazy shit. For real though. And, damn, shit, it's crazy as hell. And certain people don't wanna, stand up for, what's right or some shit. You know what I'm saying? For real though, they just wanna, get bread. They just wanna, get paid, get that dog shit in their pocket and shit. Say, if, they want our rules to go help the writers to check or some shit. I'm like, motherfucker, this is not a motherfucking game. This is something serious like a motherfucker. Everything is getting fucked up. Our community is at stake and shit, and all they asking for is a fucking check. Really though, that's some crazy shit. Me, I'm never gonna turn my back on my goddamn community. For real though, I'm like, shit, that's some crazy shit. How the man wanna talk about Black Foundation? How the fuck you gonna talk about Black Foundation if your ass ain't gonna do shit about it? Really though, come on, bro. That's some crazy shit. And I'm telling there's a wannabe white motherfucker. That's what he is. For real though. Shit. And when I figured that out, that shit, that shit was crazy. I was like, goddamn. Goddamn. I'm like, him. And plus, the sportcaster is wannabe white motherfucker. For real though. I'm telling you, up there trying to tell people to vote Republican. I'm not voting for that shit. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not gonna ever turn my back on my goddamn community. And that's on bro. For real though. Anyway, they losing their goddamn minds. I'm like, shit. Because people up there, I don't know. If people still thinking that, we on that gimme shit. No, we not on that gimme shit. What I'm talking about? For real though. I'm like, hell no. Some crazy ass shit. For real though. Anyway. Yeah, we some hard-working people and all that shit. And that's what we gonna always do. But they gonna always see the bad. For real though. I'm telling you. I'm serious about this shit, gang. That's some crazy shit. For real though. Anyway. So, this cop, this cop, actually shot this man 80 times. Or whatever went up. For shooting a goddamn door. They made this car flip over. I'm telling you, it's some crazy shit. I'm like, goddamn. I'm like, oh my goodness. Some crazy shit for real though. Anyway, so I'm just like, damn. They flipped dude car over. And you know what I'm saying? Sick the dog on his ass. When he shot the dog, he shot him 80 times. Goddamn. That shit was crazy. And then try to call it justified. Shit ain't no goddamn justified. It was never justified at all. The only thing they wanted to do was murder the man. That's all. This man, this other man shot at these, CIA agents. And I think he hit some. And, shit, he didn't get injured. Or his life wasn't at stake or nothing like that. They have this motherfucker on a gurney having a good conversation with the CIA agents. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, that's some crazy shit. For real though. Like 18-year-old got hit up in the shooting or whatever whatnot. For real though, that was some crazy shit. That's some crazy shit for real though. You know what I'm saying? For real though. Anyway, so yeah, I'm like, damn, some crazy ass shit. For real though. Anyway, so these like women up there trying to actually think they was slick as fuck or whatever whatnot. Like this one lady, she was up there talking to this couple or whatever. She was up there just driving her car or whatever whatnot. Not saying had a suspended license. She was smoking on some weed or whatever whatnot. You know what I'm saying, bro? And she was intoxicated too. Real, and that she was up there just talking. She wasn't talking shit, but she was actually talking, just actually yelling and spazzing all that shit like that. But she didn't use no profanity or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Real though. Anyway, she was up there whining and shit. After they got her, and so when she tried to run out the garage or whatever, when she was like, no, I was just only joking. I was like, nah, she fucked up when she did that. Random. Plus, she was she was already headed to jail. For real, because, you know what I'm saying, she, you know what I'm saying, she there, and because she was driving on, suspended license and all that shit, she was, doing the most. She was doing a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, for real though. Anyway, that's some crazy shit. They hit her ass up with a whole bunch of charges. You know what I'm saying, right after she got arrested, or whatever, whatnot. I'm like, damn. Now, this other lady was driving recklessly like a motherfucker. She was speeding away from the cops and shit. For real though. And, she got out the car when she, drove it into the grass or whatever, tried to run, she couldn't even run. Because, why? She wasn't even that fast. Telling you. And they got caught up to her ass and she was started hollering on all that shit. For real though. I'm telling you. But she got out of jail and they arrested her the same day or whatever whatnot. And they gave her 3 months probation and all that shit and a year of community service. Damn, they took it easy on her. Said that shit crazy as hell. I'm like, damn. That shit was something else. I'm like, damn. I'm like, okay, alright, okay. But shit. Anyway, so yeah, this teacher called all these kids niggas. For real though. She was they was up there calling each other that shit, you know what I'm saying? She was like, okay niggas. That's what she said, you know what I'm saying? For real though. And she got fired from her job and punk ass dude that was hit at school, hired her ass back, or whatever whatnot. You know what I'm saying? For real though. That was crazy as hell. For real though. Anyway, somebody put a monkey picture on back of this dude's back on whatever whatnot, and a lot of people was laughing like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? For real though, I'm telling you, it was crazy, gang. I mean, they was laughing like a motherfucker, didn't even do nothing, just point and laugh and shit. You know what I'm saying? This one young lady, she took the picture off his back and ripped that shit. Real though, I mean, she was around when she did that shit. Real though, because that's not even right. It's not right at all. Real though, I mean, that's some racist shit. For real though, I'm like, that's some crazy ass shit. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, damn, they up there showing kids that it's cool and all that other shit that that was a racist act right there. But shit. It was only let's see, it was just like, uh um yeah, it was just a video to like see who actually react to that shit. Not saying take some action. And the young lady did that shit. And that's what's up. And that's all, bro. Yeah, but anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, hit the bell on notification so you can see my next upload and my next post, and make sure I'm making no one tomorrow. And oh yeah, you can check out my previous videos if you like it. So long, farewell, goodbye.